guys, Redneck Computer Geek here. If you're like a lot of people with a 2.3 liter in these Ford Rangers, you've gone through the effort of doing all 8 spark plugs. You've gone through the effort of doing all 8 spark plug wires, and you've gone through the effort of doing both coils. And for some reason, you still do not get the gas mileage that you should. And for some reason, when you're sitting at an idle, it oscillates and it bucks a tad bit. Not enough to be uncomfortable, but just enough to be irritating. And for some reason, when you're going up a steep hill, you just cannot maintain 55 miles an hour in 4th gear. And that's because, most likely, your ICM is failing. This is your ICM. We're going to be replacing it today. And one of the big things about your ICM is you need to identify which pin on your module is your number 1 pin. And that's going to be a green and red wire, and that gives you your number 1 for top. So your module is going to go this way in the unit, and you want to just write on it top. It's pretty simple. The other way to notice that is on a lot of these ICMs, they're going to have a double edge plate that's on the top left-hand side if you're looking at it. And that's because this is your ground. If all else fails, no matter what, you run a ground wire to this, and you should be able to fire off your ICM. Now, the first thing we're going to have to do in order to get to the ICM, which I'm going to bring the camera up close, is clean out the rat's nest of wiring that's next to it and get it all out of the way. So, let's get started with that.
Alright, so we're going to grab the camera here and point out a couple of key points of reference. This here, that's your power steering pump. That's your fill for your power steering. If you have an air conditioning unit, it'll be right here. This is your fuel pressure regulator. This is your ICM module. Your top goes this direction, your bottom goes that way. Your pin 1 is right here. Now, if you're testing this, when you undo this pin right here, this green and red, when your ignition is on, you should have 12 volts to it. The other thing is your ground for the module is right here. And as you can see on mine, probably part of the reason why it's not running right is because apparently the grounding bolt snapped. And I didn't realize that till making this video.
Alright, so at this point, we're going to pop these off. And all you do is take a flathead and put it in underneath, pull out, and then press up with the flathead. There's your top one. Obviously, the bottom one is the inverse. And you need a short flathead screwdriver because your power steering lines are right in your way. But you just pull out and press down. Like so. There you are. Your wiring harness pulls out of the way, nice and easy. From here, you're going to need a really weird socket size. It's a 5.5 socket. Now, if you live in the Rust Belt of the United States or wherever you live, most likely every single one of these is going to snap. Here we go. So now that we managed to get the old one out of there, unfortunately we had to go and snap it off because we just couldn't get to the base. We're going to get in here and we're going to clean up all of this surface that's down in here under the wiring. Now, this is just thermal paste. It's the same thing that you find in a computer nowadays. Brake cleaner will take it off, but passing on a computer tech tip, 90% isopropyl alcohol will eat this right off in an instant, 3 times faster than brake cleaner will. I just don't happen to have it here today.
Alright, so now that you're done having the guy on the internet said this would happen moment, the only one that matters is this top one right here. This is your ground. So what you do is you remove your AC out and you drill through here about a 1/4 inch above where the original bolt went. And there is a hole behind there. From there, you can take a self-tapper and you can thread it in using an impact or whatever, get it all nicely threaded, and then you can mount your ICM onto there, and on the bottom, all you need is just a really large exhaust pipe clamp, just a regular standard one, and we're going to get it mounted up.
So there we are, a much happier, nicer idling. Should have all the horsepower that it's ever going to have in this puny little engine. But that's why we love these engines. They run insane amounts of distance. My last one that I had before it dropped a valve had 320,000. What's the highest mileage vehicle you've ever driven? Post in the comments down below. I'm curious. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps all of you.